The following is a Podbeard production.
Two fries in a game! Look at my butt.
Heavy the laxative.
Father, what is this?
I do not know.
My blood moon is rising once again.
In a world where two ordinary gamers team up to fight the forces of boredom, this is their podcast, and this is their story.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hodder.
And I'm Cazador Jones.
And you've tuned in to episode 50 of Two Guys and a Game! The comeback edition.
Technically episode 51.
Technically episode 51 of like 53. But we're going to call this episode 50 because the original episode 50 never aired.
It's lost forever.
It's literally actually is lost and gone forever. Like, we're never going to have that episode. You guys are never going to hear that episode because it's just never going to exist. Ever.
It was such a good episode.
It was a really good episode, except for the fact that I had no desire to be there.
You had no desire to be there?
I had no desire to talk about the topic we were talking about.
Which was everything?
Well, a lot of Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, episode 50 was, if you guys are maybe not remembering, because it's been literally like 4 or 5 months. I don't even know anymore how long it's been. But basically, we did episode 50 with our dear friend, Mr. Brandon Bowden. Mm-hmm. And it was a great episode, covered a lot of stuff. And basically, there was a big issue with the recording, we'll just say. And it was literally unusable, and it really sucked. But that's just kind of how life goes sometimes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I was like, you know what? It's okay, Kaz. We'll just do episode 50 next week. We'll get it out. It'll be great. We were kind of planning on taking a hiatus anyway. That was kind of the plan. And, well, as life sometimes.
And then cut to 5 years later.
5 years later, we just show up again, and we're like, what up?
5 years later, it's just a wasteland outside. The world's come to an end. We still managed to record a podcast.
Well, yeah. We're in a different location. Kaz has a beard. I've lost 2 limbs. I'm not going to tell you which ones. But we're still doing it because we said we would. We've been hyping this episode for a very long time. So I hope that you guys are excited as we are to finally do this episode. And before we get into literally anything, Kaz, what is new and exciting in the world of Cazador Jones? It's been literally, I have not hung out with Kaz outside of work and maybe one other time since like, oh my God, like December 8th?
Is that where you're going to go? Wow.
It's been way too damn, and it's not through lack of trying, by the way. Let's just say we've tried. It's just hasn't worked out. But what's new and exciting in the world of Cazador Jones? Give us the Cliff Notes version.
Cliff Notes?
Yes.
You know I'm not good at Cliff Notes.
I know. That's why I'm expecting.
That's why you're saying Cliff Notes.
It's because it's time for a tangent, bro.
Oh man.
People want the tangent king.
I moved to Coburg. To a new house.
Which was one reason why we were going on hiatus, by the way.
Yes. The distance has definitely not helped. It used to be like very easy for us to just like get together and just, it was, it would be like, yo, Kaz, you want to record today? Wake up. Right. Okay. I'll get up and roll out of bed and I'll be there in 5 minutes. And now it's just like, hey, Kaz, you want to record today? No, I can't. I live in Australia now.
He lives down under, mate.
And it would take me 100 years to get to your house, and by the time I got there, we would all be dead. So, no. So the new house, it's out in Coburg. For those of you who don't know where that is, Newcastle is located where TJ is located.
Where we currently are.
And Coburg is about 20 minutes.
20 minutes to half an hour, depending on traffic.
Yeah, 20 minutes basically east of Newcastle. Mm-hmm. And then it takes an extra 15 minutes to get to my house once you get to the actual town. So it's really fun. It's a fun drive. So, but the new house is nice, new digs. Currently in progress of getting another studio set up there, the Cazador Jones studio.
Whoop, whoop.
So that'll hopefully be up by the end of this year, and then we'll have another place to record or whatever. And other new things. Got a PS4.
Oh, yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, I got a PS4.
But it was so long ago that you got it.
No. I literally just got it like a week ago, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I was planning on buying it
for a while.
No, I was planning on buying it, and then like literally the week I was like, okay, that's it. I'm buying it this week. I need to. I walk in the door, and actually, this story's pretty cool. My dad, he's in HVAC, and he does HVAC for like huge businesses and stuff now. And one of the big ones he did was the CEO of Sony Canada. So that's how we got our PS4. My dad was doing installs for him, got a huge speaker system, and basically got a PS4 Pro, VR, like everything. Just it's all set up. I had to set it all up for him. And yeah, and I was just like, wow, like, and I haven't really played it yet, but I'm looking forward to it, especially now that all the games I've wanted to play that you've talked about and then others have talked about, and I'm like, oh, like Spider-Man, God of War, they're all of them they're price dropped like down.
You can get them for like $20 now.
Yeah, they're dirt cheap. So I'm just like, what the heck? So I really want to play all of those. Yeah, and that's new. And then let's see what else is new. I guess Cazador Jones is a girlfriend now.
Oh shit.
That's probably
Kazita.
I should have. No, Kazarina.
Kazarina Jones.
Or Kazette.
No, Kazette.
Yeah, Kazette. Because it's like Toadette, you know.
Kazette.
Kazette.
Shouts to Kazette.
Kazette.
I know she's listening.
No, I hope she's listening. Because I'd be.
She's probably not going to listen.
I'd be deeply insulted if she's not listening to two of her favorite people. So. Yeah.
So basically, things are busy. Things are good though. They're
life's changing. You know, changing gears, going after a new job here. You know, all that. Just kind of moving towards the new future here. So.
Greener pastures.
Yes, I guess so.
Is the term.
Yeah. So what's been new with you, Mr. Hodder?
Absolutely nothing.
That's bullshit. But okay.
Well, it's interesting. One of the other reasons why we were going on hiatus, and I told you this, and a lot of what I'm going to do today is basically explain to everybody what the fuck happened, because a lot of people have asked me, like, you guys kind of just disappeared. That's really random. But then they're like, you are still doing stuff, so like...
What the fuck happened?
No, someone was literally... I'm going to be cool with everyone with privacy and stuff, but someone was like, did you and Kaz like get in a huge fight or something? And like,
did you and Kaz break up?
And I'm like, no, literally, okay, so...
No, literally. Okay, so like I was handling Kaz's dick for the longest time, and then this chick comes out of fucking nowhere and takes the dick away from me, and now, or should I say the Kazberg
away.
takes the Kazberg away. So now I'm left with no Kazberg.
I was the handler of the Kazberg for a long time.
And so I handed it off, and now his new handler basically monopolizes it. So
in reality, it actually has nothing to do with it.
No, I know. I was just pandering into your...
It's a funnier story, but basically, as far as a quick cliff notes for what's new with me, we're currently recording in a new little area now. I've dubbed the new actual Hodder Show Studios, which is cool. It's in a little bedroom, so it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's mine. It's my area, so I'm very excited about that. I've been going heavily with the Hodder Show still, doing my thing. You know, I'm hoping that some of you guys who listen to the Hodder Show, come check this out, because I'm definitely going to talk about it. I have been... also trying to find a new job, not too much avail, but that's okay. You know, kind of slowly working at other life stuff, trying to buy a house and wedding planning still, which is always just the funniest fucking thing in the world. Let me rephrase that. That's going to come off really bad. I love the actual wedding planning, and I can't wait to get married and have the wedding. It's the logistical stuff that I don't like. I hate it. I'm just like, I love talking about it and I love planning it with her, but like, I just don't like the pricing. Let's just leave it at that. And been going heavily with the Mean Beer stuff, you know, trying to do what I can to help out that wonderful company, and you know, other podcast shit that I'm not really going to talk about because no one cares. And I basically, and this is going to segue into one of the main other big reasons as to why Two Kinds of Game went on hiatus, is I basically, as of this month, started playing video games again.
Whoa.
And I hadn't played a video game since, like, actually sat down for more than 10 to 15 minutes to play a video game since, like, the last time basically we tried to record at Brandon. It was like that day.
Yeah, when TJ stopped playing the games, that's when we stopped playing the pod.
Pretty much. I was just like, I have no goddamn desire to play video games at all. I don't know why. Just something in me snapped. I was like, I have no desire to do this, which sucked because I loved video games for so long. I don't know. But basically, when I put up that post, I think it was January, where I put that little joke post that everyone thought was funny of what's going on. And one was, you know, Caz is moving and then TJ's taking a sabbatical to focus on his pottery. And I mean, that was a joke from Family Guy, but the reality of the situation is I took a sabbatical from gaming for a long time. And being that I am a co-host of a gaming podcast, I was like, well then. But so yeah, that's kind of what's going on. That's kind of what happened as far as there's I didn't like secretly hate Caz's guts. I don't think Caz hated me.
No.
Maybe for a little while there because he was like, "Yo, I'm not going to record, you fucking dick." But like, that's just...
I don't think I ever said that. I just kept coming to you and be like, so you want to record soon? And you were like, yeah, sure. And then nothing happened. And then I was just like... And then finally TJ was like, last week, he's like, okay. I could tell he was ready to go because whenever TJ's ready to go, I get the long-winded text and it's just like, all right, so here we go, Caz.
Because I knew. I was like, okay. Also, it hasn't helped the situation any, and this is not anyone's fault, but... I was planning on doing this little studio thing in here for a while because it was really hard to record in the other room we were recording in. But my wonderful, beautiful fiance works overnights and sleeps during the day.
Yes.
So, yeah. Basically, I'm like, we can't really record at my house anymore except for today. So I'm like, it has to happen today. So, yeah. But other than that, you know, just basically life got in the way. There was no secret like, oh my God, I hate Caz. He's a dick. You know,
I mean, I am, but I mean,
yeah,
you don't hate me for it.
No, I think it's endearing. And we do thank everybody for the all the support, you know, and also for asking constantly and still keeping it alive. Still wondering what the hell is going on. When are we gonna get more Hodder and Caz? I've had more than a few people say to me, "We don't even give a shit about two guys in a game at this point. When are we gonna get Hodder and Caz?" Because that's what the people want, and I'm like,
that's what the people want. They want Fearless Fred and Hodder and Caz.
Yeah.
Minus Fearless Fred.
Minus Fearless Fred, because no one likes Fearless Fred. At least I don't. Don't get me started on Fearless Fred.
Okay. I won't. Let's just say TJ was up for a job at a radio station and Fearless Fred got it.
I wish. Actually, no, I don't.
No.
That's another story for another time. But as far as what we usually talk about for the most part on this show, because it is called Two Guys in a Game.
Right.
I guess... Before we kind of get into another thing that we have to talk about, we're going to talk about near the end there. It's kind of a big thing. But what has Castro Jones been playing the last little while?
TJ just opened up a can of worms.
What a surprise. All right, I'm expecting you to tangent the fuck out for the next, 10 minutes. So go.
Well, I won't go off on everything I've been playing just because I have tried and played a lot. I'll just touch base on a couple of things, but one, there's some that I'd like to actually talk about. So for one, I've been playing a lot of, I was playing a lot of Deltarune, which is Undertale's spiritual successor, kind of.
Okay.
It's basically like, it's not a sequel per se, but it's a continuation of that style of game where they like the animation style.
Yeah. Is this an indie game?
I don't even know if you can consider it. I guess it is, technically. It's independent
developer. Did you play
developer.
it this month? I'm setting something up. That's why I'm asking.
No, I didn't.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Sorry, I played it like 2 months ago.
Okay. You know what I was setting up, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
No,
that's
it was
fine.
2 months ago.
Damn.
But that was good. I really enjoyed that, and I can't wait to see further progression because it's actually not a complete game yet. It's still he's still developing it, but he's given us the taste of it, and then he's going to keep developing. And he said he'll like on his website's hilarious. Like he's like, I don't even know when it's going to be done, so stop asking me. Like
stop fucking asking me questions.
That
fuck
was
us,
good.
guys. We didn't know when the fuck episode 50 was going to happen. We're going to do it whenever. Shut up.
Yeah, it's in development right now. Stop bugging us.
I've been editing it for 3 months. No.
That I played a game called Tales of Vesperia. I don't know.
Nice,
I don't
nice.
think I talked about that.
No, but I know the game.
But
so cool.
yes, that one came out. It got released on all consoles again as a definitive edition, and I picked it up for none other than the Switch because handheld is best. And hashtag Handheld Nation.
Handheld. Hold Hand Nation. I like to use handhelds once in a while. I like the handheld technique. Anyway.
Yeah, so that was good. Played that for a long time. Wasn't really expecting to get into a JRPG again, but that one like just brought me back to my childhood, and I just had to keep playing and playing and playing, and so that was fun. And then leading up to now, the one game I've been playing the most of is another childhood favorite, JRPG, which is Final Fantasy X. That just got re-released.
Always a classic.
Re-released, because it's been released like 6 times.
Which I think we talked about in episode 49 for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
How it was basically like announced it was being re-released.
Yeah, so like they announced all the Final Fantasy games that were coming out. So like all of them are basically out now. I think we're missing like maybe 1 or 2 that they've announced, but we've got just maybe 1. We've got so many good Final Fantasy games out now. Like it's crazy. The Nintendo Switch's development has just gone through the roof even further than it was before. And it's just like, you're like, okay, well, what's next? What are you going to do? You're going to bring Halo to the Switch? I don't think you can do it.
Watch. They're like, what's this?
But yeah.
I got an idea. Why don't we take Halo and put it on the Nintendo Switch? They're like that, dude.
No, what they would do is go, well, we can't bring Halo to the Nintendo Switch, but we can bring the Labo version of Halo to the Nintendo Switch.
Don't even get me started.
Like, oh my gosh, like we have to talk about that a little bit too. But anyways, like Final Fantasy X remastered, as I'm gonna call it from now on. Remastered HDDDD. And but it's been really fun playing through that again. And I always say this: when you're a child playing a video game, you're not going to get the full effect. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah,
you have to go back and play it as an adult. Playing this game as an adult now, like with the patience that I have and with the determination that I have to get stuff done, it's crazy to me the difference in gameplay. Like when I was a kid, I used to get frustrated at Final Fantasy X. Like, and I'm talking about like when I was like 7 or 8. Like I used to throw a fucking fit on the PS2 and be like, I can't fucking beat this boss. What the hell?
Fuck this, I'm out.
And now it's just like so crazy just to have a game where you have no limits of leveling up. You can just keep leveling yourself up and there's no end to it.
Total OP.
Yeah, you just end up going up against a boss. It's like when I was a kid, it was like, oh my God, 32,000 HP. That's so much. Where now I'm watching my characters and they're hitting like 4,000 each hit and I'm just laughing. And I actually had a funny scenario in the game. So just to push it further. So it's called grinding, so this isn't gross, so don't take it the wrong way. But I
was taking it the wrong way, but that's okay.
I grind like crazy in this game.
I bet he does.
So like I literally will just sit there. Like I've been playing in the same area on this game right now. I've been playing in it for about 3 days. That's just because I haven't had a lot of time to play. But I usually spend about 4 to 5 hours just grinding my characters up, like their level up. And anyways, I entered this new area after a boss fight, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so basically you get separated from everyone in your party at this point.
Oh, yes, I remember this. Yeah.
And you're in the desert, and you're like, oh, crap, okay, so you walk a little bit, and then you have an enemy encounter, but you're alone, and it's this gigantic monstrous bird, and then your main character's like, oh, that's okay, I can take it. And I'm like, I know you can, because I know where you are with your level. You're literally like the most over-leveled character
you better
I have.
take it.
So I do that like...
LOL, you better take it.
You better take it.
Sorry.
So I literally, for those of you who are Final Fantasy fans, Final fans,
if you will.
Anyways, FFFs.
Triple Fs, if you will. If you will.
You know about like haste and Hestaga and all that stuff. So I cast haste on my character, and he gets like 3 extra turns now every round. So I just start whacking this monster down, and I just kill him instantly, like he's dead. And then what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to start fighting him, and then the other characters gradually join into the battle to help you out. Well, the funny thing is, I take this guy out before the character's cutscene can activate, so they come in and they're like, are you okay at the end of the battle? And my character's like, yeah, we did it. And I'm like, no, shut the fuck up. You did it. Stop giving everybody else fucking credit. And I just thought it was so great because I'm just like, wow, I way overleveled my characters. I need to slow down and just enjoy the game, but I can't do that because me enjoying the game is overleveling my characters and walking through everything like it's a joke. So.
Well, that's fun too, though. Like it's the Pokemon syndrome.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Oh, you're lying.
What?
You're lying. I know another thing you've been playing the crap out of. It's all I see you do anymore every time I see you.
Oh.
You have to at least mention it a little bit. Calling you out, you're full of shit.
Okay, and also recently got back into Pokemon Go.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said recently I got back into Pokemon Go.
Sorry, one more time.
I said recently I got back into Pokemon Go. Are you happy?
I'm very happy.
Actually, yeah. So I've been really into Pokemon Go lately. They're just like I guess it would have started probably around December time. I was like kind of starting to build up the interest, but then more of the people I like know were getting me back into it, and they were like, "Oh yeah!" And then the second somebody said something to me, I can't remember when it was, but I was walking away and I was like, "Yeah, Pokemon Go stupid," and they're like, "Yeah, but you can get shiny Pokemon." And the second I heard shiny Pokemon, I was like, "The fuck you just say shiny Pokemon?" And they're like, "Yeah, they're like popping up everywhere." I'm like, "I thought that was only one." The girl who was telling me about it, she's just like, "No," she's like anything can be shiny. You don't know when they're gonna add stuff. Like it just keeps, they add it in like all the time. So I'm like, all right, I gotta get up in this. I gotta get up in this shiny hunting. So I literally joined back and I just went at it, and I found so many shiny Pokemon. It's so good. So that's literally the main reason I'm playing Pokemon Go right now. I'm like, I don't give a crap about other Pokemon. Oh, cool, there's a rare Pokemon over there. No. Is it shiny? No.
I don't give a shit.
It's not. I don't care. And then I ended up bringing, actually, I ended up turning the Prince who is king, who was completely against the damn game. His motto is, a game doesn't control me and doesn't tell me when I'm going to play it. I'm going to decide when to play it. So you don't send me a notification telling me that it's been a day since I played the damn game. Okay, I decide when I'm going to play the game. That's his motto. But I got him back into the Go as well because he's the same as me. He's competitive. He likes to find those shinies. But his biggest quarrel was eggs don't hatch unless the game's open. Well, that changed. Now, for those of you who know the egg hatching scheme, you have to walk a certain amount of kilometers to hatch your egg. You can have your phone in your pocket and you can run around your house 10 times with Pokemon Go off and then open Pokemon Go and it'll be like Adventure Sync because your phone has a counter in it, right? It knows how much you're walking. It's the step counter, so it just converts it into Pokemon Go now. So you can literally just do whatever you want. You don't have to waste your battery if you just want to hatch your eggs and just walk around. And
that's actually sick because that was my biggest quarrel with it.
Yeah,
like because I obviously I played it when it came out, and I mean literally I was like, me and Sam were playing, and I was about it. Like, we would go out and we played it a few times, and, you know, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, oh, I got my egg. And then it took me like a month to hatch it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, man, like, my battery keeps dying. I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah. So a lot's changed. I feel like when we first got Pokemon Go, it was unfinished product to now where it's gradually gotten very much stronger. There's a lot more to doing it with raids, like battling now's in it, trading's in it. There's so much that's just changed, and it's really actually worthwhile playing. And actually, speaking of people I've gotten back into it, someone I got into it, the GF, who literally when we started off she's like, "Oh my god, you play Pokemon Go?
Stupid.
You suck." Or not? She probably didn't say you suck, but
she literally told me. She was just like, because I don't know if you know this, but like, she was like, yeah, like basically this is not even remotely how she sounds, by the way. I'm just doing a stupid funny girlfriend voice.
Yeah,
because how all girlfriends sound apparently according to Hodder. Like it's so stupid because like literally all the two of them do is they walk around and they're like, "Oh my god, look, it's a shiny," and I'm just like, "Ew." It's now.
That's basically what she does.
I mean, the other day, and she's like, "Oh, I just got a shiny."
No, like, she thought she found a shiny.
What the fuck did you just say? She's like, I caught a shiny. I was like, did those words just come out of your mouth? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I can't even look at you right now.
So it got to the point where we would go out and then she's just like, all you do is go out and play Pokemon Go. Focus on me. No, I'm just joking. She doesn't actually say that shit. But that's how I feel like she's like, you know, she wants me to like, come on, Andrew, we gotta go rub front parts together. Oh my god. Like, so, no, like the first couple times we went out, I could tell she was kind of like agitated or whatever, just not cool.
I get it.
And I was like, you know, I feel bad, but like I made these plans and I like, and then I want to spend time with you, so I'm trying to kill two birds. But anyways, so then after that, we started, someone was kind enough to hotspot her so she could play.
Was it you?
No, I was not kind enough. Because the one time that I did hotspot her, I got an angry text because I'm on a shared family plan right now. So I got an angry text saying I used too much data. But later on, I figured out why I used too much data. So we corrected it. It wasn't because of her.
Enough.
So, anyways,
I got an angry text message. What the fuck, guys?
So yeah, so I kind of converted her into it to the point now where I was like, we were out yesterday doing it, and yesterday, well, you know, whatever. Anyway, so we were out yesterday doing it, and it was just to, I hotspotted her, and I basically was just like, you know, you really just need to get your own data, like that way. I mean,
really,
then you can go play it without me. You don't have to wait for me, and you can actually go and progress without me. Because I'm like, you've got this whole week off. Go do something with, you know, go play it. Like walk around Newcastle. Like Adrian does or whoever, like
That's our boy Adrian.
so and so then this morning I wake up and the first thing I get a text is, hey, I have data now, and I said, yeah, good morning to you too, boo. I
just got a shiny fucking Charizard.
Well,
Where
no,
are you at?
And then the story behind that, she told me about that. She says, oh, like TJ saw me get a shiny. I was like, oh, you got a shiny? Yeah, but I couldn't catch it.
Yeah, I didn't actually see her get it. She told me she got one.
Yeah, well, she's like, I couldn't actually catch it because I ran out of Pokeballs. And I was like, well, you got to start spinning Pokestops more and stuff. And then I'm like, let me see if you actually saw the shiny. So I go into her phone, open it up, and the screen, like, is still on the Charmander that she's trying to catch. And it wasn't shiny. So I just kind of was like, that wasn't shiny. She's like, but I saw sparkles. And I'm like... So later on, I'm like out, and I'm like, are these the sparkles you saw? And I guess basically when you encounter the Pokemon, once the Pokeball appears, it kind of sparkles on the screen. So I was like, yeah.
So she thought it was a shiny.
So I assumed that's what, but she's like, no, I thought I saw sparkles. I was like, no, that wasn't a shiny. But I'm like, but if it was a shiny, let's just say this. One, I would have been disappointed that you didn't catch it to the point of like rage quitting everything. And I would have punched a hole in the wall because Charmander is literally one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So you getting one would have made me angry, but you not catching it would have made me angrier. Because at least if you had caught it, I could have said, my girlfriend's got a shiny Charizard. So anyways, that's my story of Pokemon Go. Thanks for bringing that tangent out of me.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
All right.
I was waiting. I'm like, it's time for a tangent, bitch. Give me a tangent.
All right. So, TJ, what have you been playing? And I already know what you've been playing. So.
Yeah, literally like 3 things. But before I do that, I want to take a quick second to give a big shout out to the sponsor of Two Guys in a Game, good friend of ours, Mr. Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts. Usually I input something here, but I don't want to do that this time around. If you guys have followed us from day one, you saw our first logo, which was kind of like almost like us in like war outfits from like post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, it was basically like Fallout.
Yeah, and it was really cool. I really dug that he did up for us. And then obviously we progressed into the cartoon Hodder and Caz, which is still my favorite thing to this day. He had the idea to, like, oh, when you make your memes, you should put the faces on it. And that just, I had way too much fun with that, and I still do.
Yeah.
And also, he does all our banners. Basically, anything social media related for us, he does, aside from the crappy memes I make. And, our stickers we had, he did those as well for us. And he's just always been a big supporter of us, so I wanted to make sure to give him a big, huge shout out. He does a lot as well for the Podbeard Network, the Hodder Show, Mikes and Beers, basically everyone related to the Podbeard Network he does work for, and he is a wonderful human being. So, Jason, thank you so much for everything, my dude. Seriously appreciate it. Check him out at jbirddigitalarts.com. Let him know that Cazo Jones and Hodder sent you. If you need anything, whether it's, any kind of a logo, t-shirt, stickers, mailers, literally anything you need that is design related, he's got you. It'll be a great price, and it's going to be killer. And also, he's just a wonderful, wonderful freaking dude. So, don't mess around with anyone else. Contact Jaybird Digital Arts today. That was my fade out effect that I did myself. You like that?
It was live on location.
Live on location. No editing. But it's interesting. Because when we decided to do this, I'm like, okay, I don't really have, like, I literally texted you before you came over. I'm like, I hope you have stuff to talk about, because I don't really. Because I've literally played 4 games since we last spoke.
Yeah, probably me too, so.
Yeah, but there's more for you to talk about. Whereas these, I've already talked about 3 of them on the podcast before.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun.
So, but I'll run through the list. So basically, what got me back in to gaming again, and it's so funny how this has all come full circle for us, because my favorite episode, well, one of my favorite episodes of the show, I believe it was episode 7, I think, which was you talking about how much you loved this brand new game that not a lot of people knew about, and it was this super fun, relaxing game, and I thought it sounded so stupid until I played, and that was Stardew Valley. Your obsession with Stardew Valley. And I was obsessed with it for a long time. We talked about that back a few episodes ago.
Because I'm right.
Yeah, you are. Absolutely, you're right. And for whatever reason, I kind of just fell in love with gaming for a while there. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And the one day I was so burnt out. I was completely burning the candle at both ends for a long time there. Still am. But I was like burnt out, stressed out. I'm like low. I'm like on the verge of having like a freaking panic attack. I need to like relaxed. So
Oh,
I
good.
cracked-
So I'm not alone. Someone else has been going through that. That explains somewhat. Yeah.
Yay. I was like, I shouldn't say on the verge of a panic attack, but I was pretty freaking burned out.
Yeah,
I don't get burnt out completely a lot, but I was like, okay, I'm here. I don't want to look at another fucking podcast. I don't want to look at editing equipment. I don't want to do anything. So I cracked myself a nice ice cold Moosehead crack canoe.
James Ready 5.5.
There you go. I'll take my crack canoe, but I drank James Ready for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I sat down, was starting to watch TV. I was watching a lot of like stand-up comedy specials at the time and that, and I'm like, man, I should just throw something on and play something. And I'm like, I don't really want to. I don't know. I was like, I don't feel like being challenged. I don't feel like... And I was like, you know what? I'm going to boot up Stardew Valley. Because I basically beaten the game. Like, I was like, there's not much I can do. So I sat down and I started, going through my crops and I was doing my thing and I got a horse and, I'm just tending to my chickens and my cows. And then I realized I could get more farm animals that I didn't really realize the first time around. So I got pigs and goats and sheep and everything. I had all these crops. I had like over $1 million. It was ridiculous. And before I knew it, like a few hours had gone by and I was like, shit, like, I feel so relaxed. Mm-hmm. So Stardew Valley, a game that Caz recommended back on like episode 7 that it took me till like episode like 34 to play, I believe, kind of got me back into gaming. And then from there, I started playing The Witcher 3 again, which of course I talked about before. I'm not going to talk about it. But I just, it was a game that it's super fucking fun. If you've never played it, you really should. But I just had no desire to play it. Then I started playing my WWE games, which I love. Totally got back into that again this week, too. I've been playing the shit out of it. Nice. And the more thing I do want to talk about, because I said I would talk about it, this goes back to the E3 podcast that I did, the one I did with Brandon, the DLC episode, and then the one we did.
Oh, right, okay.
And that, my friends, Motorized Windblowers, is that I finally, after what felt like forever, got the early access to the Elder Scrolls Blades mobile game. It took a long time. I forgot about the game completely until I got the notification that it was ready for download. And I was like, what the hell? As we record this today, it is available now. The early access is available for everybody. They kind of worked all the bugs out, even though I didn't notice much. But basically, if you guys who are not aware, I'll kind of quickly run through it. It is a first person. You control it by tapping on the screen. It is literally Elder Scrolls on mobile. You could not ask for a better system as far as... I know a lot of people have had a lot of bullshit with it, but me personally, my experience with it has been great. You can literally set it so that like you put your one thumb down and that's kind of your control stick. Then you tap with the other one to attack. It's kind of almost slightly like a turn-based kind of deal where like you have to, like they're attacking you in real time and so are you, but it's like you have to kind of script out their, like, okay, they're about to attack me here, so you can put up your shield. You can hit them with your sword. You have to hold it and release it and all that kind of thing. It feels really good. It feels fluent. There is obviously, because I played, you guys know I played the shit out of Skyrim. I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan.
Which version of Skyrim?
The original and the
original, the remastered, the double remastered.
I played the original and the remaster and all the DLCs. So literally all of Skyrim.
And the Baconator version of it. Yeah.
The Macho Man Randy Savage version. Thomas the Tank Engine version. I played all of it. I've done probably literally like 20 to like 24 playthroughs of that goddamn game. Like seriously.
I'm not even exaggerating. I'm pretty sure anybody who plays it has. So it's just the replayability. So I didn't know what to expect from it. And I mean, the only thing that pissed me off about it right off the bat was I had to wait like a long time for it to download updates. And it was released like the day before. And I'm like, what the hell? Because they had a lot of bugs when it first, like the day it launched, I guess. Yep.
So there was like, I had to wait like almost basically overnight to play it. But you know what? I sat down, I dedicated a couple hours to it at first to really, because I wanted to report on it to you guys because it was something I said I would talk about. And I played it. It's fluent. The graphics look great for mobile. It runs really well. It doesn't kill the battery on your phone, which I was really surprised about. It sounds great. It's just, it wasn't buggy as shit. I was so surprised it wasn't buggy. And, it's basic. You go into your dungeon, and it's like, you go to the end, you fight your enemies, you collect your loot, and save the perks, you have to save, whatever. Then you go to the end of the dungeon, and then you get warped back to a map. So it's not in real time where you, like, leave dungeons and stuff, like in a Skyrim or Morrowind or whatever. But I expected that. I knew that going into it. And you have your central hub, which is the town. And basically you rebuild the town and all this stuff. And it's really good. It's really in-depth. I haven't played a crap ton out of it yet. Because I've only basically been playing it for a couple weeks. But I was really impressed with the character creation as well. I could not believe the depth it went into with the character creation. Like, obviously, again, not as much as Skyrim or as Oblivion or Morrowind, which I knew that going into it. But, there's like 40 different hairstyles and a bunch of different faces and body types and like all the races you could possibly want. They all have their special abilities. I'm like, this is cool. I like this. I was really happy with it. My only complaint, but I get it, because they have to try and have microtransactions in there somewhere. That's the world of mobile games, is when you find a chest, especially later in the game, instead of just opening the chest instantly, you basically collect it, and then there's a little screen you go to where you open the chest. Some of them you have to wait for, and if there's, like, say there's one you really want to open, you have to wait like 8 hours for it to open.
Oh my God.
You can just buy these little crystals that make it go, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel cheap. Like, I'm like, you know what? Or you can just wait. It's kind of like Fallout Shelter, where which also actually I was playing a bit in there too, but like where you don't have to do the microtransactions.
No, you can just wait.
It makes it a little more fluent if you do.
Yeah.
Because you get your bottles and this, you get your crystals, but it feels really good. I'm really pleased with it. I think that it was a surprise for a lot of people. I have had a lot of mixed reviews from different people online that I've seen where people have said, oh man, it's a buggy piece of crap, don't download it. And I'm like, you know what, man? Considering I got early access for free, I'm really pleased with it. If I had paid $10 for it, I'd still be happy. I don't know what its full price is going to be. I don't imagine it's going to be more than like maybe $10, $12.
No, I can't. Yeah, they won't charge
Because that's
too much for
about,
it.
yeah.
Well, the thing with apps like that too is they don't really like, if you're going to charge for it, that's fine. But you have to realize too is they get you with the microtransactions. So that's really
where
where
they make
the money. They don't really need to charge for it at all. They just need to.
Yeah, I don't actually know if it's going to have a price, like a retail price or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's been my experience with Blades. It's been fun. And other than that, I haven't really been playing much else, just been playing I was playing a lot of Stardew Valley there for a while.
Yep.
Listening to a lot of different podcasts, doing a lot of editing and stuff. And
growing out your man bun.
Yeah, I got a man bun now.
Yeah. TJ's become one of those people.
Yeah, I'm a douche. I got an undercut and the whole man bun. That was actually yesterday was the first time I wore it out in public because I refused to do it.
Did you see, just as to tangent off here, did you see the episode of Family Guy, the most recent one? Where
No.
Peter's going to, they go to, an internet con, so it's social media
God.
con, and Peter goes in, he goes, oh, I hate these things. And he pulls out his phone, he starts live Instagramming things, and he goes, yeah, here we are, we're at the live con, blah, blah, blah. And then he cuts to the next part of his story, okay, here we go, and ew, gross. And he zooms in on a guy with, a man bun, and he just goes, ugh, I hate man buns. And the guy turns around and he sees him, and he just goes, oh, crap, he saw me. Goes to the next part of the story. Okay, here we are. Here, I guess you can do something with, you can meet somebody here. I don't know. Oh, crap. The guy's behind him. He's got security pointing at Peter doing it. And then it just goes through this whole thing. And then Peter's
offended.
Yeah, and then Peter's in his car, and he's basically like, well, guys, got kicked out. This sucks. But hey, you know what? You got to just go with the flow. Life's like this, he's just basically doing basic Instagram stuff, and then all of a sudden the guy comes, he's knocking on the window, the man bun guy, he's knocking on the window, he goes, he goes, guys, this doesn't look good. And then it cuts to him, and he's in the trunk of his car, and he's just like, yeah, I'm in the trunk of my own car now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be murdered brutally, and yeah, and then it shows his arm getting cut off, but it's like a loop. So it's just like,
Oh my God.
and it's just it's showing him getting his arm chainsawed and everything. And then finally it cuts back to him, and he's like, okay, I got away from him. It's all good. He's holding his arm like this. It's completely half. It's half off. He's holding it like this. I got an Uber, so I'm good. I'm out of here. And oh, gross. He turns around, sees in the guy, the Uber driver has a man bun as well. And he's just like, oh, gross. And the guy just turns around and looks at him and gives him like this dirty look, like, so, like it's going to start again. It was so good. Just like perfect.
Here's the thing about man buns people don't understand. And for the record, a man bun is those things you see literally sitting on the top of people's heads.
Yes.
Like they make it like that. What I currently have I call more of a douche knot.
A douche knot.
Because it's not really, I can't do a bun. It's on the top of my head. It's kind of at the back of my head. It's kind of like, you know, those like samurais you see that have a little thing.
You've got a samurai
I call it
cut.
a douche knot. My Sam, my co-host on Mikes and Beers, calls it the samurai warrior. They make fun of me for that, but I'm like, you know, whatever. It is what it is. You know, I'm rolling with it. You know,
Hashtag 2019. Man buns are
2019,
illegal.
bro. Yeah, man, they are. We literally haven't done a podcast since 2018. Mm-hmm. It's been a long goddamn time. I'm literally just, for some reason, that's just hitting me now. But
It's probably almost our anniversary again too.
Yeah, actually, it probably actually almost is. Now that
Hang on. Yeah, it's
Stall.
June, isn't it?
Stall.
So yeah, so TJ's got a man bun. Ew, gross. No, I'm just joking.
That's really all you have to say.
Stalling. I'm stalling. Are you stalling, young man? No, I'm not stalling. Not stalling.
I'm not stalling for literally anything.
Hey, don't stall. Here. Now, Mr. Conway Twitty. And just plays Conway Twitty during our
I
fucking...
don't know if it's make they leave. Dun, 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 dun.
I can do my impressions of Big Mouth. I can do pretty much all of them.
Do a couple.
That's pretty fun. All right.
It was October, by the way.
It was October? That's when we started recording a podcast there? Okay. You know, don't worry about me. I'm just over here, just recording a podcast in October.
So that's funny. I thought it was, I think it was probably June or July, I think was when you were on my show for the first time. So it was not October. It was October when we started recording the podcast. This podcast is when we started it. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. Has anyone ever told you these microphones look like penises?
They actually have before, yeah.
Hard, big, black. Okay, that's enough about that.
Big black penises.
Right. You know you want to hop that.
You want to hop on this. Get on it. Connie, I just wanted to keep a couple dicks at your apartment.
I thought those were hearts.
No, those are not hearts.
Damn it, those are herpes.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. So, what you guys are currently hearing, there's a couple things before we go we have to kind of touch on. Number one, if you're currently listening to this, thank you. Especially if you've gotten to this point. Mm-hmm. Because that means you kind of went out of your way to find this because, as I'm sure you've noticed, the show is not available on Spotify, iTunes, or Podbean anymore at all. The only place you're going to find it is on YouTube. As you know, because you currently listen to it. We decided to shut down the Two Guys in a Game Podbean. Number one, because we were sick and tired of paying as much. Well, Kaz was sick and tired of paying as much as he was for it. For a while there, I was like, yeah, I'll pay for it. And then you were like, nah, I'll pay for it. And I was like, okay. What's going to argue?
And then I'm just watching my bills pile up. And I'm like, why am I being charged $1,000 every month?
For something that we're not kind of doing. You know?
It's great. It's great.
It's fucking great. Yeah, he's going to come over here. He's going to charge us money. You know? It's the cute, man. You know, it's you just stroke the shaft and cup the balls. And I'm like, okay. So we made that call. And kind of all comes full circle to the point that, as I'm sure you guys are probably realizing, hey, so this is episode 50. When are we going to hear another episode in another 5 goddamn months? And we've just kind of decided, and we've talked about this a lot, and we've given it a lot of thought. We love Two Guys in a Game. We had a lot of fun with Two Guys in a Game. It has...
But we think we should see other Two Guys in a Game.
Yeah, basically, to sum it up...
No, it just sounded like a breakup speech, so that's why I had to say it.
It's not you guys, it's us. We have decided that we're announcing here right now to end Two Guys in a Game. Put it to rest. As much as that's kind of a bummer, the number one reason for me is the fact that, as I'm sure you guys noticed, especially the last 20 episodes, because I've gone back and listened to all of our episodes, and the last 20 episodes, as far as I'm concerned, I was not who I needed to be. I am not as big of a gamer as I was when we started this podcast. Even when we started this podcast, I wasn't big enough gamer. I just wanted to do something with you.
Yeah.
And that was the whole reason for starting this podcast. And we decided gaming would be best. And then as time went on, we kind of realized, okay, like we're not like, I'm not, okay, it'd be different if like, say someone like Brandon. Like if I was Brandon, no problem. I could have came in with all this cool news and all this stuff. Everything I wanted the podcast to be, it was not.
Yes.
From my point of view, for me personally. So
Personally,
that is
TJ prefers the air.
pretty much, yeah. And so that's why it was something that when I was like, hey, I think maybe we'll need to put this to rest. Because I think it is a disservice when there are other great gaming podcasts out there, like a Still Loading, our boy Josh, who literally knows so much about gaming. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm not tearing up. I was holding in a burp. Who, you know, he doesn't go on these random fun tangents and stuff. He keeps it entertaining. He's funny. He's witty, and he knows his shit. And when I have conversations with other gamers about stuff, I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And I'm the co-host of a gaming podcast, and I'm not, like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So I'm like, that's bad for me from a standpoint. Our biggest criticism over the years, and this is not a negative thing, by the way. This is a happy, positive thing, just for the record. It's not coming off this way. A lot of people have said, you know, we tune into Two Guys at a Game for you two, not for your gaming. So it feels a disservice to continue doing Two Guys at a Game. It's just, to me personally, that's how I feel about it. I'm speaking for myself when I say that I've put a lot of work and time into the Two Guys in a Game product and brand. So for me to kind of be the one to say, hey, I think maybe we should think about cutting this off, that was a very hard decision for me to make. But I think in the long run, it's going to be better for everybody if we just... Doesn't mean that Kaz and I aren't going to be friends anymore. Doesn't mean you may not maybe see him make an appearance once in a while around. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be super surprised. I felt the need, and I'm going to hand it over to Kaz in a second, but I felt the need to, I still wanted to do episode 50. I felt it would be a disservice to just stop doing it completely and not do this episode 50 and talk about, kind of wrap a couple things up. You know, we never did our 80 in Chronicles episode. I was waiting for you to correct me. But
I don't do that anymore.
I don't do that anymore.
Kaz grew up over the past 4 months.
And, you know, I'm just like, okay. And I was like, okay, like, let's start doing the podcast again. And the thought of doing a gaming podcast every week again, to me, I was literally like rolling my eyes. I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, and if you don't want to do it, then what's the point? Because if you don't love what you're doing, then, you know, your viewers or your listeners are going to be able to know that you're not really into it. And I think, it's just, yeah, we don't, like TJ's been saying, we don't want to keep up a podcast that's not focusing on the topic. So that's really where we are kind of saying, like, yeah, just, it's not working for our title, essentially.
Yeah, Two Guys in a Game, the brand and the name. Not to mention, there's been like 3 other Two Guys in a Game podcasts and YouTube channels that have started since we've been gone, which I noticed. So I'm like, okay, and now people are doing stuff, and I check them out, and I'm like, fuck, these guys are good. Like, I wanted to not like them, and I'm like, okay, they're pretty good. So check them out. And I'm like, okay. And I sit and I listen to Josh's podcast, or our boys over at No Geeks Allowed, who also just made a comeback this week, actually. So check them out. And I'm going to give the shout outs at the end and everything. But, you know, I listen to that and I'm like, fuck, like, Two Guys in a Game is, and I still stand strongly behind everything we did. I think that we were super entertaining and fun, and it was fun for us. But what the hook of Two Guys in a Game was, it had nothing to do with our gaming content. Yeah. That was not why people tuned into Two Guys in a Game. So I'm like, okay, if no one's listening to Two Guys in a Game for the gaming content, that's kind of a problem. So
it's time for two guys to leave the game.
It's time, yeah. Basically, that sums it up. It's time for two guys to leave the game. That's it. That's in the name of the damn title. It's time for two guys to leave the game. That literally is what it is. So yeah, that kind of is where we stand right now. And it feels good to finally get this episode out. This is something that Kaz and I talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
We had some other ideas for something else we wanted to do that I'm not going to talk about because maybe one day that could still be a possibility with, something gaming related with us. But that's one day. We've talked about it before. We've done something like that before, but we're not going to get into that right now. But that's pretty much all I got on that subject. I don't really have much else to say.
I think you said it all.
Yeah, I think I have. And we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. We hope that it kind of helped wrap up the series. We did 50 episodes. There's a lot of podcasts out there that don't even get to 50 episodes. And there's a lot of podcasts that barely get to 50 episodes. There's a lot of podcasts out there that don't do weekly. I still feel like we accomplished what we set to accomplish with Two Guys in a Game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We brought the content.
We did. For the most part. There's a couple episodes there where I led that I was like, oh, God. If we're being honest. I'm like, shit, man. But that's okay because they were still fun and entertaining. Just not if you were a gamer.
Yes.
So anyway, I think we're about ready to wrap it up here for this very special episode 50. Before we do, though, I of course want to give it. I want to give a second to give some shoutouts.
Shoutouts initiating.
So obviously, seeing as this is the last episode of Two Guys in a Game, I want to make sure we give a massive shout out to my best friend, one of the best people in the world, and huge proponent of this show. He named the show technically. Actually, not technically. He named the show. He was the one who brought the idea forth of us to even do this show. Without him, this show would not have existed and would have not have done what it did. And that is our friend, Mr. Brandon Bowden, Bowden Productions. He did a lot for this podcast, and even though near the end there he had to kind of bow out as the producer, he was still always a big supporter and was always there if I had any questions, and still is to this day. So Brandon, thank you very much for everything. Want to give, of course, a big shout out to our friend Josh for Still Loading Podcast, one of the best podcasts you'll ever hear out there. If you enjoyed our podcast so well, or this podcast at all, you should definitely check Josh out. He is the kind of the resident, the resident gaming podcast on Podbeard Network now that we are now that the two guys are leaving the game, which I think is just, it's still the best damn title ever. We even planned that. I, of course, as well want to give a big shout out to our friend Josh, and I just already said Josh. Sorry, I'm really convoluted to myself right now. To James and Brian, not Josh and James. Shout out to Josh again. James and Brian from No Geeks Allowed podcast. As I mentioned just a little bit ago, they did do kind of a bit of a comeback this week, episode 38. They are on Spotify now as well, so go check them out. They are a kind of comedy gaming podcast with also some other kind of random nerd talk in there. Geek culture, if you will. Of course, want to give a big shout out to the Bearded Geeks. They got a real nice pair down under. They are a great podcast. You guys definitely check them out. One of my favorite podcasts out there. Of course, as well, I want to give a big shout out to the Drinks with Larry crew for all their support. They've always been big supporters of us, and I know for a fact that a couple of them from the crew over there are going to be very sad with this news. But again, this is what it is, man. But we hope that you can look at the positives and go back and maybe enjoy, That's what this is all about. And then, of course, I want to give a big shout out to everybody in the Podbeard Network, all of our friends there. Of course, our brothers in arms, so to speak. Dark Runner, thanks for coming on the show once. You dick. Not coming on ever again. Just kidding. Of course, as well, I want to give a big shout out to our boy Stick for always being a big supporter of us, as well as the Creeper Sleep crew.
Oh, do you mean Stick and Boy? Boy and
Stick and Boy.
Boy
and Stick. Oh, geez. And of course, I want to as well give a big shout out. I know I'm forgetting people. Why am I forgetting people? I guess honestly, the show as well. They just made a comeback, so that's cool. Mike's and Beers. Of course, Ryan from Mike's and Beers. All the support, as well as Sam, even though she technically didn't really support this podcast because it wasn't around when she came into the fold. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I want to give a shout out to. We want to give a shout out to our friend Jushia. I don't know if he's going to hear this, but he is just our friend now. And thank you for, checking it out when you did and the support. We seriously appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. And I want to give a big shout out as well to the Prince that is King.
Yes.
Our boy for coming on the show I think it was 3 times. 3 times, 4 times?
Yeah,
I would say 3. Always being a supporter, always asking about it, Really seriously appreciate it, my dude. Thank you very much. And of course, want to as well give a big shout out to our boy Darren, Dare Bear. What?
Huh?
Just for asking about it and always being interested in all that fun stuff.
Don't even worry about it, man. I got it covered.
Don't even worry about it, bro. And I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anybody. I guess I give a big shout out to my fiance for always putting up with my shit and talking about this. And if I'm forgetting anyone, I guess, again, one more shout out as well to Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts for all the support. Thank you very much. And the Mean Beard crew. And that's literally all I got. That's literally everyone I want to shout out. So I'm going to look at Caz.
No, don't make me be that
shout-outs.
guy, please. You took all my shout-outs.
Do it.
People I was going to shout out.
Do it.
Shout out to my wonderful girlfriend. Who supports me and loves me for who I am, and I appreciate her.
Is she, though?
No, she hates my fucking guts every day. Every day I get a text where I need to improve, but that's why I love her, because she challenges me, and she's the best at that, and she's so good at challenging me.
She just wants you to level up every day.
She's like, go eat a rare candy and get on our level, bro. So yeah, no. But yeah, that's my only shout out, because you stole the Prince Who's King, you stole Jushia, you stole the Critchmeister. I mean, like, there's no one else, I guess shout out to Dan Johnson. I don't know if you ever listened to this podcast.
What shouts to him? Oh, and of course,
or is it John Danson? I can't remember. Damn it.
Of course, want to give as well as one more shout out that I would be remiss not to give this guy a shout out. And
You
I
would
feel
be
really
cathartic.
bad. I would be. This has been a very cathartic experience for us. That you didn't use it properly.
No, but you would be cathartic.
I guess technically, yeah. Yeah, you're actually not wrong on that. For a second, I thought you used it wrong. The number one fan of Two Guys in a Game, who was someone we did not know and I did not know before this podcast. Haven't talked to him in a while, just, again, life and so forth. But our friend Dylan, always been a big supporter of the show. So thank you very much, my man. I seriously appreciate it. Hope you get to check this episode out. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's all I got. I'm out of steam. I got nothing left.
All right,
I got
then.
nothing else to say.
Okay.
So I guess one more time, if you guys want to, hold on to the memories, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You will find all episodes 1 through 50 on this YouTube channel. Like, comment, all that fun stuff if you want to. I will still respond to you, and I'll make sure I keep it open. I'm going to keep that account online. It's not going anywhere. If you guys want to, go back and listen to some old stuff, there's some great content in there, so I do seriously implore you to do so. As well as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Facebook and Instagram, we are Two Guys in a Game podcast. On Twitter, we are what the hell was it again? Oh, yeah, Two Guys AA Game. Excuse me. Jeez, it's been a while. Follow us on there. I'm sure you still might see us post stuff once in a while. Just keep your eyes there. Anything happens, anytime me and Caz hang out or something, we might be like, look, we're doing this. Oh, this is good. You just never fucking know. So keep it locked there. PodbeardNetwork.com. Check it out. A lot of great stuff on there. And, yeah. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Hodder.
I've been Caz.
And you've listened to Two Guys in a Game. Thank you guys so much for everything. Bye.
Bye.